If it's just the two of us the whole time, that's awesome. All right, let me see. I'm just going to pull in one more thing. I think we should be ready to go. Uploads. No, where is it? Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. I think I got everything ready. Yeah. Hey, Donnie. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. I honestly had no idea if anyone would show up, kind of thing. This is the first time I'm doing it. I've used the software I'm using is OBS. I've used it before, but I've never used it for streaming. So luckily, I started it and had problems with it, so it looks like it's working all well. So I'm glad that both of you are here. So yeah, might as well just get started and we'll just hang out. So yeah, thanks for being here. And the purpose of this live stream is just for me to get to know you better, you to get to know me better, ask questions, and then also just kind of talk about where the channel is, where it's going, and also just like kind of I wanted to do some research so you could see behind the scenes of how I create these videos, how I do the research and all that kind of stuff. So it might be a little boring at times because I'm just going to kind of have a watch with me, work with me kind of thing. So, and I'll monitor. I have a second monitor, which you might be able to see. Like, yeah, it's right here. And that's where all the chat is. And then down here is kind of my work computer. So, but anyway, so yeah, so the channel, I don't know. I'll give you a little history. I'm going to bore you to death first. Yeah, the channel started in November of 2024, which was awesome. Almost a year. And I started the channel because I wanted to get back into D&D really badly because about like July of 2024, so about a year and a half ago, I was just randomly going through the aisles of a library, and right on the shelf was I think it's called Taming the Dragon. Let me look it up. All right, so let me see. Taming the Dragon. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Slaying the Dragon. I think it's Slaying the Dragon. Yeah, Slaying the Dragon. So it's called Slaying the Dragon. And let me bring it up right here. Let's see if I do this right. You should be able to see the browser. There we go. So yeah, so this is called Slaying the Dragon. And basically what I did was I read that book and it was awesome. It kind of refueled that fire for D&D because when I was younger, I played it. I'm 52 now, almost 53. And back then I was like between 10 and 14 years old when I used to play. So this kind of got the fire burning again, which was cool. So I started the channel because I was trying to find a group, couldn't find one. And I thought, how can I like be a part of the hobby and learn about it, even though I can't find a group kind of thing. So that's kind of how it started. Let's see, 37 love D&D and can't find a group, right? So I did a video. I don't know if you saw it, Donnie. It's called How to Find a Group. And in there, I even say it's the hardest dragon to slay in D&D is trying to find a group as an adult. As a kid, like my daughter, she goes to a school. They have a D&D club. So she's not in it, unfortunately. In fact, some of her classmates actually have seen this channel, which is pretty funny. Embarrassing for her, but funny for me. So, but yeah, it's hard to do. And you can, if you want to play online, it's probably a lot easier because you go to, startplaying.games or Roll20, or there's a bunch of other ones, or go to a Discord server, and there's a bunch of, or D&D Beyond, there's a lot of places out there that are, doing the various versions. You said 3.5, 5.5, all the different versions. You could find one online, but I don't know. I kind of want to do one in person. It's just, you get the whole thing. Because I've done a couple one-shots, and literally there's nothing better than sitting around a table and, you're backed against a wall and you need a good roll, and, someone else at the table rolls and they get a natural 20, and literally like you do high fives, and you can't get that online. You might get some yays and stuff like that, but you just don't get that same level. So I'm still looking. And if you looked at any of the videos that I had, the long form, I do just say that I am playing D&D, but as a dungeon master for a group of young adults who are on the autism spectrum. And so so I'm volunteering, and it's a great way for me to learn the game and play the game. and learn how to be a DM, though I'm not a good one at the moment. And but it's good for them, so it's a good thing. So I'm playing, but I kind of want to play as a player. But anyway, let's see. Any other questions? No, we're good so far. So yeah, so that's kind of how the story began, reading Slaying the Dragon. And it's kind of gone through a lot of ups and downs in terms of the type of content that I was doing. And now I'm kind of where I am now, which the channel's growing, which is awesome. I love the people in the community, and it's just been great. So I don't know. Does anyone have any questions? Because I could just ramble on for as long as I could. So if there are any questions, just pop them in the chat. So anyway, I'll just keep going. Hopefully this is somewhat entertaining. I don't know, or boring. So I would say first, let's start off with kind of where the channel is now. The channel is doing really well. I'm very happy with it. I'm having so much fun. I remember telling people that I needed a hobby. Like literally for years, I was like, I need a hobby. The only thing I do is work, because I have my own business, which if you have questions about that, I'll get into that in a little bit. But, you know, so I have some free time during the day because my time is my own. And I was like, I need a hobby. And I didn't know what to do. And then I thought, well, D&D could be a hobby. I could be a player. And of course, like I said, that didn't work out. So now I'm doing this, and it's just a lot of fun. So, and it seems like a lot of people like it, so it's fun. Let me look at, let me see, like right now we're at, oops, that's the wrong one. Like 3,500 subscribe, like 3,500 people are subscribed. That's nuts. Like literally that's nuts, which is it's awesome nuts, but it's crazy. It's crazy. And it allows me to kind of have fun and do this thing. So anyway, South Africa. So I don't know why I said Southeast Asia. And everything sucks here. Had to give meds. Oh, that's sad. Sorry to hear that. Hope your mom's okay. Donnie, were you the one who made the comment about the firefighter? I think someone made a comment about you look like a firefighter teaching D&D or something like that. Yeah, so my business, I am a spokesperson. I'm on camera a lot, and so most of those for clients, for business clients. So someone who owns an auto dealership or a law firm or, you know, a dental practice, it doesn't matter. Like whatever the business, they hire me to be in one of my various studios. This studio has a D20, as you can see, but that can switch out to, I can put an on-air sign. The background I can set up. I don't have any D&D books. Usually I have D&D books right there and over to the side, but I don't have any. But sometimes clients have me put their stuff in the background. I got a green screen that I'm looking at right now. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do. So it's my time's my own, which is awesome and allows me to do this. And so yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I thought that was you. But yeah, it's funny because I think I commented. I've gotten people saying that I look like I was in the Army, I was in the, police officer, a firefighter. Some people say I look like Joe Rogan. I look like an MMA fighter. It goes all over the place. And not all bald people look the same, by the way. So anyway, let's see. So right now, I would say the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was my Monster versus Monster series. So I wanted to give you kind of a transparent look into how I do that. I'm not going to walk through it, but just talk about it. And, hopefully that'll explain things. So yeah, I thought I would create an AI simulator that would basically pit monsters against each other. And I remember spending months trying to figure it out. Now you also have to understand that I'm a noob trying to figure out D&D and also giving, information to an AI it was the AI was helping me do it because it's the only way I would be able to. So, I thought it was doing great in terms of the accuracy or what have you. But because what's the word? It's sort of like you don't know what you don't know. And, I would go ahead and try to fact check the scripts, try to fact check all the data that came out of it. And some things I had to change because it got the simulation got it wrong. But some things I'm just too much of a noob to really even understand the mechanics. So I would look at the monster manual and I would go ahead and look at the mechanics for a beholder, and I'd go through it, go through the data, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good. And so I thought, let's write the script and then let's shoot the video. And what's happening is now that it's out in the internet universe, a lot of veteran players who know the monster manual inside and out and everything else and how it works are pinpointing inaccuracies in the simulator, which I love because that kind of helps the channel get better. So they're pinpointing inaccuracies, and I started to go through and try to find more, trying to adapt the AI simulator that I created using Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini, and going between the three. And despite anything, what I've discovered was no matter what you do, complex monsters are extremely difficult. I tried to create it, and the moment it ran a simulation, I was like, okay, it's detailed this time. It's giving me play-by-play, the attacks, the rounds, everything else. And then when I looked in the monster manual, I'm like, no, that's not right. It was still getting things wrong. So I'm actually pivoting away from monster versus monster. As fun as it is, I'm too much of a noob to really understand all of the mechanics that's involved with D&D at the moment. And I'm sure I'll get there, I'll learn, but I just don't have that knowledge. And even with AI, because I would use AI to fact check things, AI is good, but it makes horrific mistakes. It'll get a legendary action completely wrong. It'll misinterpret things. It'll make up spells. That's one thing it did. It, like, for the red dragon, I think it was, it completely made up a spell it didn't even have. So it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Yeah, the Monster vs. Monster. Thank you. The Monster vs. Monster series is a lot of fun, and I thought it was great. And I think it's good enough to like get some learnings out of it, because I try to end the video with, here's what I learned. And I think that's still viable, but mechanically it kind of, if it's not at least like 90% accurate, then it's kind of disingenuous to the channel and to the people watching. And I just think it's better. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be focusing more on two, I guess call them pillars. One pillar is just kind of D&D lifestyle. So, and you've seen some of the ones I put out before. Like I can do, let's see, you have here D&D spells I wish I had in real life, why we, D&D dice superstitions, inside jokes, what do you need to play D&D, how to find a group. I'm also going to be doing something kind of cool with, I got a dice from, I think it's called Gravity Dice, and supposedly it's perfectly balanced. It's a very balanced dice. So I was like, okay, I paid $20 for it. So I'm going to test it. I bought also a big bag of dice on Amazon for like $20. Each one probably is like 5 cents a piece or something like 10 cents. So I'm going to roll each dice 1,000 times and see if there is any difference between a $20 dice and a like 10 cent, 20 cent dice. So obviously you're not going to see me on camera do it 1,000 times, but that's going to be kind of the thrust of the video. Let's see. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. You learn fast enough. Just get the ball rolling, and then it will be snowball. I love lore. Oh, good. Okay, so that's perfect. So lore. I kind of wanted, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to stay away from lore because there's so many channels that do it already. They're out there. They're doing their stuff. And I was like, it's such a crowded space. Who's going to want to look at my videos? So I thought, Monster vs. Monster is cool. I don't see anyone else doing it, or if they do, it's not like a series. It's just kind of a one-off thing, or kind of a thought experiment. Who would win? A Dracolich or a Lich, and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So what I decided to do is I love researching, and with the AI tools, it makes it much faster. You still have to fact check, but it makes it a little bit faster to do all of that. And I'm going to start doing lore videos, but what I've noticed is most lore videos are, 20, 30, 40 minutes, maybe even an hour, where someone will say, I'm going to do I'm going to talk about the Lich, and they go through every single thing there is to know about a Lich, the most popular Liches in D&D, the whole bit. And so I don't want to do that because there's so many people doing it. So I thought what I want to do is then maybe create a 5 to 6 minute video about a certain part of the lore of that. So if it's a Lich, like right now I'm creating a video and doing some research on it's a Lich and how it becomes a demi-Lich, and on the kind of how that process, that transformation. And right now I'm like looking at different, let's see, different powerful liches that are part of the story. Let's see, where is it? Asarak, I think his name is. Yeah, Asarak built the Tomb of the Nine Gods, and so I think it's in a specific what's the word I'm looking for? Campaign. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just, you know, taking a little part of the lore and then going deep into that little part versus giving a whole big dissertation or a video essay on that specific. Let's see, I saw Donnie. It's exactly, there's too many lore videos and I like 3 to 5 guys at the same time. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I can't believe people are here. It's awesome. But yeah, so thanks, Jonathan, for joining us. Yeah, Donnie, there are a lot of lore, and that's why I didn't really want to do it. And so I think that, and I'm curious to see what you think. You know, is a 5 to 6 minute lore video on one deep dive within that one piece of lore, is that something that you would be interested in? And, you know, it's sort of like, I think it would be fun to do, but it'd be interesting to hear what everyone else out there, you know, says. Yes, exactly. Jungles of Chult. D&D words can be really hard to pronounce, and I know sometimes in my videos I probably screw up the pronunciation. Like, I don't know, is it Chult? Chult? I don't know. So, but anyway, so that's where I'm going with long form videos. I'm going to do like I said, two pillars. One is going to be lore based, deep dive into certain parts of monster lore. I like the monsters. I love the monsters. I've loved the monsters since I was a kid. In fact, one of my favorite things to do was to sit in bed with the old monster manual and just go through it, read it, look at the pictures and everything else. So I'm going to stick to mostly monsters, but I might delve into some of the most popular, like weapons or magical items, or, you know, Vecna and that kind of thing, you know, looking at specific popular versions of monsters, like Vecna's a lich. I think, what's his, Sam, I think, is in the Honor Among Thieves movie. He's in there and he's a lich. Okay, cool. Short videos fun, long videos are draining, especially don't cut. Yeah, exactly. So I look at it as this, like there's kind of, you're going to get my theory and philosophy. There's the shorts, like there's the shorts that I do, YouTube shorts, and I haven't gone over to TikTok, but YouTube shorts, and those are just like, I kind of look at them, and I've heard people say this before, the shorts are like, they're kind of like candy kind of thing. It's something that satisfies your hunger just right there, doesn't go too deep, it's fun, but you kind of get hungry for more after a while. Where long form, you know, 5 to 6 minutes, maybe less than 10 minutes, it's more of a, let's say, a fast casual restaurant, like a Chipotle. And I don't know what parts of the world you guys are from. I think, well, you said South Africa, I think it was, Donnie. So I don't know if they have that Chipotle down there. But, you know, fast casual, where it's not sit down fancy, but it's not fast food. It's kind of in between. And then I heard the long form videos are more of your fine dining kind of thing, where you know you're going to be sitting there for, you know, instead of 15 minutes to a half hour eating at Chipotle or a fast casual, you're going to be there for maybe 2 or 3 hours enjoying the meal. So I've kind of done that. But so I do have one video I'm working on, which is taking a long time, and it'll probably be my first long video, probably 30 minutes or so. I'm doing an Easter egg breakdown of every single, at least I'm trying to identify every single D&D reference in the Honor Among Thieves movie, because, and I'm just going to ramble because it seems like a one-sided conversation, but I guess that's what this has to be, unless I'm getting like a ton of questions kind of thing. Oh yeah, Zastan, that's right, Zastan. Yeah, that was a cool one. And that's what. So I watched the Honor Among Thieves movie, not when it came out, but I watched it almost right after I got back into D&D. And I watched it and I thought it was a fun movie. It was a lot of fun. But I didn't understand all the Easter eggs and the nuances and everything else. I watched it probably about a month ago, knowing what I know now, which is still nowhere near what, you know, veterans and experts know, because I'm still a noob at this. I was like, oh my God, there's an intellect devour. Oh my God, that's the there's a tabaxi. They're the cat race. and it's like, oh my god, that guy's a paladin. This, it's like, oh, he's a bard. Like it was like things that there was also a was it rust monster. They had a rust monster. They had Thumber Chud, I think his name was, the dragon. Like I didn't get that at first, but he's a very famous dragon in D&D lore. The dwarves basically fattened him up to be like the source of fire and stuff, so he couldn't get away. So all those things are just awesome. Hey Caleb, it's Caleb, right? Because sometimes I always want to say Caleb when I see Caleb, but I think it's Caleb. I'll up a little bit more. I was testing with let's see, I forgot the username, Weehander, a little while ago. When he helped me set this up, and he said it was low. I upped it, and he said it was too loud. So let me up it just a little bit. I don't want to blow people's speakers out, though. That's the other thing. Is it should be, if you have it in the 50% mark on your television. I mean, not your television, but on your computer, you should still hear it. It won't be too loud, not too soft. That's where it should be. If you're on your TV, based on, I think YouTube seems to be louder than normal TV. I don't know if you guys saw that, or experienced that. Probably around if you put your TV on 20 or 30 out of a Roku, probably should hear it. But anyway, when everything is new, that's when it's true. It's true. It is true. It is true. And it was awesome, watching it for the second time with a new set of lenses almost, because I knew what was going on, and it was just a whole different experience. And now I'm doing research in the Easter eggs, and I want to watch it again tonight because I learned a bunch of other things. I don't know, I've got a document that lists all the various Easter eggs that I found and I found on other websites that point to it. But there's I don't know, 50, 60 different Easter eggs from weapons. They Time Stop is in the movie, which I think is cool. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. Just remember, with the new stuff, it's okay to homebrew the flawed stuff. Oh, that's actually a good point, Jonathan. Because I do kind of beat myself up about the monster versus monster videos because, and I don't know when you came in, and with this kind of thing, I almost feel like I'm repeating myself because someone comes in and then I say the same thing. So I apologize for those who have heard this, but I'll make it quick. Is the monster versus monster, I thought would be a great fun thing. I used AI, created an AI simulator. I thought it was working great. And when it spit out the output, I would compare it to the monster manual mechanics. And, I'd have to fix things along the way. But because I'm new to this and I don't know the ins and outs of every mechanic or what have you, I didn't know what I didn't know. So something would be stated and I would have no idea that it was completely wrong. Like, for instance, the thunderous bellow. The AI said it knocked Tiamat from the sky, which I can understand logically how it would do that. You get blasted with a sonic boom, you'll get knocked from the sky. Makes sense. That's not a mechanic. It's true, like you say, Jonathan. I could homebrew it, and that's what a DM would do. A DM kind of has that. So I don't know. I don't know if I should continue it, and then maybe in the narrative homebrew it. But my fear is people are going to be like, well, if you're homebrewing it, then you can make up anything, and it's not a real fight between a mind flayer and a beholder. You're kind of making things up as you go along, and I kind of want to avoid that. I don't know. Being a YouTube creator, it's you got to walk that fine line between, what people want and what they're going to love, and then all the critics. Like you, Jonathan, you may be like, it's cool, DM it, homebrew it, I don't care, it's entertaining. And other people might be rules lawyers and be like, nope, that's not it actually. What happens is, in this legendary action, it does X, Y, and Z. So anyway, I don't know, I'll give it some thought. But I'm kind of transitioning maybe to short lore videos, like I said before. No, you're these tons of lore, but most is DMs, and it sucks out the surprises for players. Yes, that's true. That is a good point. Lore, yeah, it can do that. And then, well, I appreciate that. And that's the thing. It's like, if I do the monster versus monster and I keep it up, I don't know, maybe, I put on screen something like, because I don't mind the constructive comments, like people who are almost teaching me, and that's kind of what I love. But sometimes, and honestly, most of the comments have been, polite. They're kind of teaching me kind of thing. But some of them are like, you're dead wrong, kind of thing. And you know, it's hard to hear that. I shouldn't worry about it as much as I do, but anyway. But yeah, maybe I'll put, like, if I continue to do the monster versus monster because they're doing well, I'll maybe be more careful about it. But then on screen, just say, maybe in the very beginning, I don't know if I'll say it or just put it on screen. It's like, hey, I'm learning this. If there are any mistakes, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you or something like that. So let's see. I wonder, is there a way to determine who's here? Like, I see the chat, and I see we had a guy named Error3, then Weehander, then Donnie, and then Caleb, then Jonathan came in. So, okay, so Jonathan says, my last DM walked the fine line between the rules and what was more fun. And that's the thing that I love about D&D is the fact that it's about fun. And as long as you're at your table, everyone is on board with it, then you can do whatever you want. I mean, that's the awesome part. Let's see. Like this one content creator thought daylight spell created UV daylight, but the truth is it's just normal light. And he simulated killing vampires, but made a video about the spell, but then found it was okay. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's one of those things where, like, if you're at your table, let's say all of us were playing D&D, and I'm the DM, and I do that. I do something, and I say the daylight spell, you actually kill the vampire, you damage them with radiant damage or whatever it is because, you know, this has UV daylight. And then if we're around the table and then someone's like, well, actually, it's not. If you look in the monster manual, it'd be like, oh, that's cool. But when you put it out there for, like, the world to see, you almost kind of feel embarrassed to a certain extent that you made a mistake kind of thing. And then the bigger the mistake, the worse you feel. So anyway, but it is what it is. No, but I appreciate that. I don't know. You guys are making me think maybe I'll keep doing the monster versus monster, but somehow make it more of a learning experience than this is the definitive way that this happens. Because right now I'm kind of telling a story about how the monsters battled, what it meant, where I might be like, you know, I ran this simulation. Here's what the results were. What do you guys think? Here's some things that I saw. You know, what are some holes in the simulation? What did you see that? So maybe if I frame it like that, it might look at that as a learning opportunity versus just, oh, here's the monster simulation and this is what happened type of thing. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to share with you guys is I'm actually, I created t-shirts for myself to wear in the video because I noticed that I wear black t-shirts a lot. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing this today, ironically. But I do wear a lot of black t-shirts. If you look in my closet or my drawer, I've got like 15, 20 black t-shirts. It's easy. I just put them on. So that's my go-to. But I thought I wanted to do something more D&D related, but I wanted to kind of have like special shirts that were just for me. So I wanted to share those with you. Let's see. I enjoy these vids. Monster. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Donnie. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll just keep doing it and position it differently. So anyway, here's what I did. I'm going to start wearing these. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, this is the Forgotten Realms wiki. I'm using this now as the main way to start really, what's the word I'm looking for? To really go deep into lore. These wikis are awesome. The Forgotten Realms wiki is incredible. If you know of any other wiki that's a reliable wiki, and there's a bunch of, like, I don't want Reddit posts because that's all theory and people arguing and, you know, that type of thing. Where here, you know, this is a pretty well curated, you know, site. It's reputable. So if you know of any other ones that have good lore that I could use to research, that would be awesome. Okay, so let me show you. So here is, no, not that one. So I have a t-shirt, this one right here, and it'll go on a black t-shirt. And of course, that's kind of like what I like to say in the beginning, let's roll for knowledge. So I think I'm gonna start wearing that t-shirt. It was supposedly delivered yesterday, but I can't find it anywhere. I went to neighbors' houses, no one has it, so I had to reorder it, and hopefully it'll be free because obviously I didn't get it. I got this one, worse than a toy brick. I couldn't use the word Lego because it's copyrighted. And so actually I have this one. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see me, so let me do that again. So I actually have this one. Worse than a toy brick. And I made a short on that where, you know, they're like the D4s are pointy, and if you step on that, you're done. You're completely done. Um, so let's see. What's your favorite? Okay, I'll. Oh, that's good. See. Enjoy. What's your favorite funny moment in D&D or D&D related stuff? I mean, I'd say a funny moment. Gosh, I don't think I've been doing it long enough to really have a funny moment. I mean, the only thing I can say is the stuff that I've seen online, and of course the movie, the Honor Among Thieves. Like, there's a bunch of funny stuff. Like when I was doing the research for my, what was it? Let me look. I can't remember what I called it. It was memes. It was like 20 hilarious memes or something, or 10 hilarious memes in D&D. I mean, they were pretty funny. Like the I cast Fireball. The Bard charms the dragon, like those kinds of things. Like I like that, and I belong to a few Facebook groups, which are basically all D&D memes, and they're hilarious, kind of thing. It's like it would have gone over my head a year and a half ago when I first got back into it, but now I'm starting to get the inside jokes, and I enjoyed the movie, so that's that. I haven't really played enough. I had a few one shots. The only thing I would say is there was one shot where it was other adults, and it was the dungeon master who was an adult, two other adults, me, and then there was kind of a kid who was like 14, and it was a one shot adventure. And as we're going through it, the kid kept doing things to like sabotage what we were doing. So he would purposely like knock down a door, or I remember one time there was a treasure chest, and I did an investigation check, and there was obviously a poison vial in it. And he was like, I'm going to open it. And so he opened it, and of course we all had to make saving throws against the poison. And he kept doing things to like sabotage what we were doing. And so that's not really funny, but it's the only thing I could think of that was just one of those moments where I'm like, why are you doing this? It's like, you're part of our team. And I think he was just into the whole, I can do whatever I want. This is D&D. And one guy at the table was like, this is the funny part, actually. He's like, if you do one more thing, he's like, I swear I'm going to throw my axe at you, kind of thing. So anyway, that's why. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I think every Indian stepped on. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they have. Have you ever seen Chaotic Good Barbarian? No, sounds like a D&D horror story. No, is that so? Have you? No, I haven't. Is Chaotic Good Barbarian? Is that a movie or like a YouTube thing? Yeah, right. He's a little prankster. And I was like, what are you doing? And the funny thing is his mom was in the corner, like watching the whole thing. And we were like, do you want to play? And she's like, no. And she was on her phone the whole time. And her kid's acting like a kind of a jerk. Yeah. Is it, so the Chaotic Good Barbarian, is that, no, it's okay. It's not. So what is that? Or are you just saying, have I seen one like while playing? Is that what you meant? A D&D horror story. I know what you're saying there, because I guess it relates to my. Oh, the YouTube. Okay, let me look it up. I have not. I've kind of bumped into. I do want smaller YouTubers because, or YouTube. I hate the term YouTuber. YouTube creators, because. So you may. I don't know if you've taken the quiz that I created, the D&D real life. What real life class are you in D&D? And so people. I've had over like 1,200 people, 1,200 people take the quiz, and I like to send out. I don't have one prepared for tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll get one out. But like a Sunday newsletter, and in there, I really want to like spotlight like up and coming, and I'm an up and coming. I mean, I only have 3,500 subscribers, but I want to help other small creators who are in the D&D space. So if you know of any other ones that you like, let me know, because I'd like to highlight them in the newsletter that I send out. Okay, so let me look at this. Okay, YouTube. Right, let me go full screen here. All right, so you said his name is Chaotic. Oh, there it is, right there. Number 1. See, that's... Is his channel Dungeon Soup, by chance? Oh, you give me okay, yeah. If you can give me the link, that would be awesome. Because I searched it and it's coming up with these other things. I like it. And I love how creative, like people like this one. I don't know if this is the one you're talking about, but that's awesome that this person is like creating, cartoon content. I didn't even know this existed. Search category Pegasus. Okay. So it is Arnold Schwarzenegger can't. Yeah, exactly. That would be. Have you ever seen? So I don't know if I know where Donnie, where you're from. Jonathan, where are you from? And Caleb, where are you from? The cool thing is everyone's all over the world, which is awesome. Okay, that's him. That's cool. Yeah, no, I haven't. Let me. Oh, he's a big channel actually, or she. I don't know, boy or girl, man or woman. That's a big channel. 1.29 subscribers. I mean, put it this way: if you're doing cartoon content, which is hard to produce, you deserve all of those subscribers. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna subscribe to him. Thanks, Donnie. All right, so bizarre and funny. I'm gonna check it out. Definitely check it out. Argentina, cool, nice. I'm in the United States, specifically Baltimore, Maryland, which is about an hour north of Washington, D.C. So that's kind of where I am in the grand scheme of things. So let's see, what was I gonna do? Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So yeah, let me know. Are there any other creators out there? Any small creators by chance that are more like the 1,000 to 10,000 range? Because I would like to, like in the newsletter I send out, to kind of highlight them so other people get the chance to see them. So yeah, just let me know there. And I think that everything should be. And I also created this little thing. Let's see. There we go. It's not quite. Let's see. Does it? Yeah, it's about the highest it can go. So yeah, this is the one where it's me in the corner, and then you get the whole thing. So let's see. South Africa. Okay, so Jonathan's in South Africa. Is Donnie? Are you in South Africa? I think you were in South Africa too. Yes, the animated series. So I started rewatching that. Have you seen the whole thing? It's actually on YouTube. You can watch it for free. Oh, cool. Thanks, Donnie. I appreciate that. But yeah, the D&D cartoon, I remember, like, I'm getting nostalgic vibes right now. It's kind of chills. Because I remember it was like 1983. I was 10 years old. And I think it went for 3 seasons. I'm not sure. But I remember watching it. It was Saturday morning cartoons, and I'd have a bowl of cereal, and I'd be eating the bowl of cereal, and I'd be watching D&D, and that's, yeah, that might have, it didn't get me into D&D. I know what got me into D&D back then, but that's around the time that I started playing, so it was cool. Like, I remember seeing the Beholder in the first episode, which was awesome, and I was like, oh, there's the Beholder. Oh, there's Tiamat. Which was funny because Tiamat is huge. Like, if it were real, it would be like the size of like 3 houses, kind of huge monster. But I love how in the cartoon, the kids are running in a castle, and you see Tiamat running after them in a castle. There's no way you'd be able to fit into a castle. So I think that was funny. But anyway, I'm rewatching it now, and you could watch it on YouTube for free. Just type in Dungeons and Dragons 80s cartoon playlist, and you'll see all of them. Oh, you guys are friends. That's awesome. That is so cool. That is awesome. And then, let's see, what was I going to say? And then also, did you hear that I didn't know this until probably about 2 months ago, the D&D cartoon, they stopped and never got a final episode. They canceled the show before they aired their final episode. We love TTRPG. Oh, cool. Let me try that. Let me do that. Thanks for that. Nice. Yeah, definitely subscribe to them. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. The new channel. They're almost at 8,000. So they're approaching. And here's the funny thing is that what I've known is like being on YouTube for like almost a year now. Your first 1,000 subscribers take forever to get, forever, and then the next 1,000 happens faster. Then the third 1,000 happens faster, and literally I hit 3,000 subscribers like 2 weeks ago, and I'm already at 3,500. I probably will be at 4,000 in another week or two. So it's like the more you get, it's like a snowball rolling down the hill, and it gets faster and faster and faster. So these guys, they'll probably be at like 15,000 in another like 3 to 6 months or something like that. So good for them. That's awesome. I'll have to check out their stuff. What do they do? I'm just curious. I'm trying to see. It looks like I love the vibe. It's very gothic. It's like vampire gothic. At least that's what I'm just in this very little bit that I'm looking at. Now, do they do? Okay, so it looks like he's more teaching. Let me see. Never saw the anime series. Definitely check it out, Donnie. I think you'd like it if you kind of, are a D&D player or a D&D fan or hobbyist, enthusiast, whatever it is, even if you don't play, but you know the basics of the monsters and all that kind of stuff, I think you'll like it. And it's a little cheesy. I mean, it's made for kids, so it's a little cheesy. It's the typical 80s cartoon type of thing where you have, Venger is the evil sorcerer, and then all of his, like, minions are bumbling idiots. The orcs are dumb. And, yeah, so it's got that kind of thing. But it's good. Let's see. Let me see that. Yeah, I know. And especially today, Caleb, I'm almost, a lot of times, I kind of, like tonight, if I were tonight's Saturday night, and I don't go out or anything like that. I stay, I'm a homebody. So I'll watch TV, and I have to think, do I want to watch a movie? And if I do, is it a movie I haven't seen or a movie I've seen? Because do I want to put in 2 hours to a movie that I may not like, take that risk, or what have you, or rewatch a movie that I love, kind of thing. Like I love the movie Office Space, and I could watch that over and over again. Or do I watch a TV show? And then the same thing. Do I watch a TV show that's brand new? Because I'm afraid that if I really like it, they're going to cancel it after the first season kind of thing. Or do I watch a show that I know? Like, I love The Big Bang Theory and The Office, and I've watched those through many, many, many times. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see. Let's see. So, Donnie, let's see, I'm trying to see. You say it's more a YouTube problem than a you problem. We love it has the same problem. Do you mean in terms of like getting subscribers? Is that what you mean? Unless I missed something you said above. Oh, he gives ghost tours. That's awesome. Ghost. I don't know why I just said ghost. Ghost tours. Yeah, I'll have to. I'm gonna definitely watch that, and I like it because they're like short. Like they look like they're like 1.5 to 3 minute little short things. Awesome stories about the game. Oh, Dingo Doodles. These are all awesome. Thanks, guys. And gals, I don't know. Guys, gals, I don't know really who's who's what out here. All right. Oh, nope, not that. Dingo Doodles. It sounds like it would be from Australia because dingoes are native to there, I believe. Oh, he's a big one too. That is awesome. The amount of work it takes to like do this, to like do these animations, I don't even know how they do it. I mean, I know you can do a lot of stuff with AI, but this doesn't look like AI. This looks like animations. I wonder how they do it. Like that's pretty talented right there. So Dingo Doodles and Puffin Forest. Puffin Forest. Let's see. Excuse me. That's cool. Another big one. And that goes to prove, you know what? It's interesting because I remember like a lot of people don't want to get on YouTube because they're like, oh, I don't want to do a D&D channel, or I don't want to do a cooking channel, or I don't want to do a channel about, camping or whatever it might be, because it's so crowded. There's so many other people doing it. Well, you like there's probably hundreds of creators, maybe even hundreds or 1,000 creators or more creating D&D content, and a lot of them are making a living off it, which is awesome. I mean, I would like to get there eventually, but these guys. So there's the room. There's enough room for everybody, which is what I'm getting. Let's see. Oh, getting subscribers. Okay, yeah. It's always hard in the beginning. The beginning is the worst. I think it took me like, I'm not kidding, maybe 8 months to get to my first 1,000, and then 2,000 took 2 months, and then 3,000 up to 3,000 took a month. So it gets faster as you grow. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Those videos are pretty hilarious. That's awesome. So what are you guys doing tonight? I think was it Donnie? Let's see. Yeah, Donnie said he's gonna watch series or movies. What are you gonna be watching tonight? I'm debating. I kind of want to watch the Honor Among Thieves movie because, like I said, I'm creating this Easter egg, and I kind of want to not do homework. I want to watch it for fun. I'm not going to have my laptop out and going through line by line, but I kind of want to watch it. But then I'm thinking horror movies are my favorite. I love horror movies, so I'm like, do I watch a horror movie? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. D&D, cool. So do you, Caleb, do you play online or do you play in person? Oh, Peacemaker Season 2. I like it. I completely forgot about that. I may watch that then. I got the episode I'm on is probably the second one. It's where he finds his, he goes through that door and he realizes his brother is still alive and his dad is actually a good guy. And I think that's the last episode I was on. So I know I have a whole bunch. I think they're up to episode 6 now, I think, or 7. Let's see. Peacemaker. Alien Earth was awesome. I loved Alien Earth. And I was a little skeptical because the new Alien stuff, the movies haven't been very good at all. In fact, they've kind of been lacking. But the new Alien Earth, I really liked it. Azamar Monk, okay. Oh, okay, good, because I didn't spoil anything. Or hopefully I didn't spoil anything. All right, I'm going to look up. Let's see. I'm going to switch over to, where is it? Let's see, I'm going to do, that's cool. Now, is this, as I assume Azamar Monk is the campaign that you're going through? Tailspire. Oh, I haven't. So Discord, Tailspire. Is Tailspire kind of like, I know I'm asking lots of questions. Tailspire, is that kind of like a Roll20, like a way to do that, to play D&D? The Gamer's Dorkness Rising. Oh, I haven't seen this. Also, if you're interested, so I don't know where to find it. That's the problem. There's a movie. I'm just going to look this up. Oh, I do not know this. What is this? This looks really good. Feature-length film. 2000. I have not seen this. Oh my God, this is awesome. So it's on, I think they said on YouTube. Is that where it is? It kind of reminds me, it kind of has the vibe of, what's it called? I just had it, what's it called? The Guild with Felicia, can't remember her name, Felicia something. I think she's on my homepage. Like, I saw her video. Yeah, her. Oh, you see it? It popped. Felicia something. I can't remember her name. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's... yeah, thanks for telling me about that. Where'd it go? Because there's another one that you all probably would like. In fact, I'm thinking about doing like a video of like, I've seen like a bunch of D&D documentaries, which are really good. One is called, I can't remember the name of any of these except for the one that I can't find. There's one called The Dungeon Masters, And it's a well done documentary where they take these dungeon masters and they kind of like follow their lives and like how they do the game, what their personal lives are like. And one DM is like a real kind of a real jerk kind of DM. He's like the all powerful, stereotypical, like when you think of a jerk DM, he he plays against his players kind of thing. And so, and then another person, it was some woman who was a DM. So it's like follows these dungeon masters around, but I can't find it anywhere. It's not on streaming anywhere. I've tried looking at it on YouTube. It's not there. I've tried looking at it in all the streaming platforms, and I just can't find it. I want to watch it. Last time I saw it was like in 2010, so it's been a long time. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. I love this. This is awesome. It's funny because I had no idea what this was going to be. Like my goal in this thing was just to, you know, to maybe give behind the scenes. Like I was going to like edit some videos and, you know, I didn't know that there would be people chatting. So this is awesome. This is much more fun. Let's see. You're playing as an Asmarmuk. Okay. The Sunsoul Weaver. Storm King. Okay, so Caleb, have you listened to the Dice Shame podcast? Have you listened to it? Because they actually go through. I'm on episode 115, and they go through the Storm King's campaign, and it's really good. It's a really great. This is probably sacrilege to say, but I like it better than Critical Role, in my opinion. That's me. Let's see. Yeah, right. Jerks and cringy DMs. Thanks. I appreciate that, Donnie. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. The Dorkness Rising. That looks really, really good. But yeah, check out Caleb Dice Shame podcast. It's really, really good. And I don't know. I tried to listen to Critical Role, but it's a little too theatrical and over the top for me. And sometimes I haven't researched it at all. I don't know. But sometimes it sounds like it's scripted to it. I know certain things are scripted, like the DM reading is scripted, but it almost seems like a lot of everything else is scripted, like a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that make the story progress the way they want it to progress. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but it just, when I started listening to it, that's kind of the way it sounded to me. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Completely and utterly wrong. Let's see. Yeah, check it out. Let me pull up. Yeah, Dice Shame. And now they started in 2020 during the pandemic, and now they're everywhere. Like they're a huge podcast now. When I'm listening to them right now, they're I keep saying a lot. Sorry about that. They are, let's see, they started in 2020, and right now all of them still have jobs. Like the DM, she's a lab, like I guess she's a scientist of some type, and the other ones have different jobs. And now I think who knows, maybe they're still doing their jobs, but they're so big now that they go to, like you can see, Invictus 2025. They get invited to conference, conferences or cons and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good one. And the best part is, like, I think, let me go to Spotify. Let's see, Dice Shame. I'm on episode, let me see. I'm just looking. Episode, that's 100 and something. Okay, so I just finished. I have 10 minutes left in episode 124, and they've got. Let me sort it the other way. I'm on season 1, newest to oldest. Yeah, and they're season 2, 162. So you've got, if you haven't started, if you like them, you've got content for months and months and months. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. And again, I apologize if anyone sees this in the future and doesn't like that comment that I made and they're 100% not scripted. I don't know. It just seems a little over the top for me. And I know I know there's a difference. Like, for instance, behind the scenes for me, like when I produce these videos, it's, I do the research, I write the script, I do the videos, and of course I make mistakes and cut it. So you see the polished version of it. So I know there's always stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And I even know like when they do reality shows that everything is real, but the producers kind of guide the decisions and stuff like that. And so maybe that's what Critical Role is. Maybe they don't necessarily they don't fudge the dice rolls or anything like that, but maybe it's, they do have where they want to go, and the DM kind of, I think the term is railroads them to like make them follow. But then again, I guarantee they probably have like meetings where, okay, so this is how it's going to work this week. At least I have no idea, but that's just my opinion, thoughts, whatever. Let's see. Everyone has a flavor. Thanks, Donnie. Let's see. The one I really like is tabletop notch. I'm always looking for, let's see, new podcast, because it's funny because I don't know if you were here, Caleb and Jonathan, but Donnie, I kind of gave like what I do for a living, and I'm a video spokesperson. So I actually do, I have this studio that you see. Actually, you can't. Oh yeah, you can. I'm on there. This studio right here. Right now, it's got the D20 lit up. I also have other ones clients can choose. So I'm on video a lot. That's kind of my thing. That's what I do for a living. So I used to listen to a lot of business podcasts, podcasts about YouTube, like how to succeed on YouTube. And ever since listening to Dice Shame, I haven't listened to anything else but that. Anytime I get in the car, I listen to Dice Shame. All right, so let me search for. Oops. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go to Gavin DeGraw's live concert. Tabletop Notch. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you. And then, so I wish you can. Actually, can I? Let me see if I can share. Let me do this. I think I can. Is that it? Why isn't it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have to put that on top. No, wait a minute. Bear with me a little bit. All right, so I'm going to do... Move up. Ah, there we go. Okay, so Tabletop Notch. So I just went ahead and I did that. Now I'm going to do, there's another one I listen to. So this one just started. So it's great because I can listen to Dice Shame for a while, and then the one I'm about to tell you, they released the newest version. So they just started probably about 2 or 3 months ago, and they're really good. It's called Roll the Bones. Yeah, Roll the Bones. And let's see. Let's do oldest to newest. So yeah, I got a lot to go here. So yeah, they're brand new. So I finished, last one I did was August 2nd. Oh wow, it's been that long since I've listened to them? It's October. Well, that's not too bad. It's just a month and a half, 2 months. But then yeah, I've been listening to Dice Shame. I've kind of put this in the back burner. But this one's a good one too. This is a really good one. Let me see. Critical literature. Yeah, I definitely hope so. That's the thing, Donnie. It's funny because there's so much to watch and so much, like, we have so much content now. It's like, when do you find time to do it? So I like the cartoon ones, because they're short, which is good, because sometimes at night, like, especially when it starts getting later, I'm like, I don't want to watch a movie. I don't want to watch a series to get into. And I'm like, so I'll flip on YouTube, because, each YouTube videos are like 5 to 10 minutes long. So you get that kind of, it scratches that itch to watch something, but you're not really committed. But like, if I'm like in a mood where I'm like, I just want to watch quick stuff, that's perfect. So tonight, maybe, I don't know what I'm going to watch. Let me try that again. I probably will watch Peacemaker. That's probably what I'll do. Let's see. Yeah, but I think I'm going to do that. So I'd watch Peacemaker, and then later on, I'll probably watch, let's see, The Dragon Soup. I'm just going to listen. I don't know if you guys... So, it can't play while I'm on here, it looks like. Or at least, I don't know how to set it up, and I don't want to break anything. So, anyway. So, yeah. So, anyway, yes, I think I've gone over kind of with the channel, where we are now, the monster. I might still do the monster versus monster now that you guys... I do have one releasing next week, a Beholder versus 100 Zombies, which I think is a good one. And I checked it. I think it's accurate. I already recorded it and all that kind of stuff. And as I was going through it again today, I did find 2 small errors, but luckily they're not critical errors. They're just like small little, like I say something about an action, a beholder's action, and I meant just like the one eye stalk. And I was like, well, technically in action, it can do 3 eye stalks. So I'll put a little note on the screen, but luckily they're just little nitpicky things. Oh, thanks, Caleb. Yeah, now I think about it, I might continue that. It's not a perfect simulator, and if I'm a little more careful and a little bit as I'm learning, and maybe put in some things on screen, as I'm going through. So if like I notice something, I put it on screen. I might continue to do it because they're doing well. People seem to like them, so I mean that's a good thing. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying to... The problem, I don't know if you came in, Caleb, when I was talking to Donnie, maybe Jonathan too, was that the thing with the monster manual, the complicated monsters like the Lich, dragons, beholders, they've got so much going on that the AI just gets completely confused. It starts making stuff up. It misses core defenses. Sometimes it tries in the simulation. I have it, it's not programmed, but I tell it that it has to look at intelligence because a beholder is extremely intelligent, and going against a lesser intelligent creature, that intelligence means something. It means that it will be more creative in what it does. And sometimes it gets the simulator just throws its hands up and does what it wants to do kind of thing. So AI is great. AI is great. And I use it. I do use it a lot from, I help in my research. I help to, sometimes I help it to write the scripts. That's usually where I start. I'll give it all the information that I want, and then I'll do a first draft, and usually it's terrible, but at least it gives me, because the worst thing, and you probably all know this, is when you're going to write, you sit down with a blank piece of paper or a blank document, and you're like, okay, what do I write? Kind of thing, where AI does help get past the writer's block, and it gives you something to then massage and kind of work on. So I use it for that. I use it obviously for the simulators, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, the Brass Drake, you're new. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Jack, Lost Lore. Awesome. Yes. So, yeah, we were just talking about that. And I don't know, at least I'm using something called OBS. I don't know if you guys know what that is to stream this. I'm not using YouTube, so I see the chat, but I don't know how many people are in the chat right now. Like, it doesn't say there are. I really have no idea. There could be 50 people here. I really don't know. How many? Can you guys see how many people are in the chat? Because I can't. And I'm afraid to do something because I'm afraid it'll disconnect. Like, I was thinking I could go like into YouTube, but I'm afraid if I do it, something will happen. But if you guys can see, like, I really have no idea how many people are in here. But anyway, yes, the Brass Drake and Jack Lost Souls. Yes. So and I said this before, I feel like I'm repeating myself for the people who are here, but it's still good. The AI goes off track. I created it probably about 6 months ago when I had the idea. And when I first did it, I was thinking of coming up with a second channel called Clash Point, where I would put famous, like, you could put, the way it was first written was, you could put Superman versus Batman, or Superman versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus, God knows what, One Punch Man, whatever it might, like, you could do anything. And then I thought, well, why don't I just keep it D&D related? So I created one that was more D&D focused, and it's good at giving some basics. I think, and this is just my opinion, I could be completely wrong, but I think the learning that comes out of it, like towards the end of the video, I talk about like the Lich versus Demi-Lich. There's a lot of AI issues that happen, but I think at the end, the whole learning is that it's better to have a consistent weapon that deals decent damage than a weapon that fails a lot but can be the one kill kind of thing. It's like the weapon you want is the consistent weapon. I think that was what came out of the scenarios, out of the simulation, despite it getting a lot of things wrong. So I think the learnings are there, but yeah, it gets, and especially, and again, I don't know when you, 5 people, okay, 5 viewers, awesome, thank you. Actually, now let me tell you, I told my daughter, I said, my goal is to get 5 people on the live cast who are interacting, like actually are talking to me kind of thing, not just, 5 people who aren't saying anything. So I reached the goal. So yeah. Yes, you're right. It's not a simulation. And exactly, it does hallucinate. And that's the big part. I think it gets it, it does a decent job, but it does get a lot of things wrong. And I don't know when you came in, Jack, but for complex monsters, it's definitely not good. Definitely not good. In fact, when I recently did, what was it? I was looking at a Lich versus a Beholder, and it kept making up stuff. Like it made up spells that the Lich didn't have, even though I specifically gave it the stat block. And I was like, here's the stat block. Make sure you use the stat block. And, using all the AI scripting techniques. I use AI a lot for my job, so I'm pretty good at AI in terms of the prompting and everything else and working with it. But it just didn't. It just made up spells, and it was almost being, how do I say it? It was almost if the AI was trying to force its own conclusion and making stuff up for it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's, yeah, anyway. Let's see. Yeah, it's reaction videos. So reaction videos. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of reaction videos. Like, I don't really watch them. I mean, I know what they are, but one thing I always worry about, though, is, like, copyright. Like could I take, let's see, let me switch to the other one. Nope, that's not it. Like, for instance, if I do Dungeon Soup, if I do Dungeon Soup, it's like if I had that playing on the background, and let me see, this one is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's like, from a copyright standpoint, like I don't know nothing about that, and I know people do it, so it can't be that bad. But I don't want to get my channel like taken down because I did something wrong. It's a big fear of mine. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Jack. And I notice I use, like I said, a lot for my work and like what I do. And the difference, though, here's the difference. With my work, I'm an expert in it. Like, I know what I'm doing. It's like what I do is what I do, and I'm good at it. And so when it gives me something that I'm like, that's BS, I know it. The problem is being new to D&D, I don't know it. And so when I'll see the obvious stuff, the easy stuff, which I correct. But some of the other things I just don't know. And I was talking before that in the Tiamat one, which it was, what was it? The Thunderous Bellow. It was assuming that it knocked Tiamat from the sky. And when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a sonic weapon of sorts. It makes sense it would knock her from the sky. Well, that's not in the mechanics. And I didn't look it up because I just assumed that it was getting it right because it made sense, logical sense to me. And so there's all those little things, and because I'm a noob, and even certain things, like it'll say something, and even when I look it up, because I don't understand what like maybe a spell does mechanically, like I understand the spell, but I don't know how it really enacts kind of thing, I'll make an assumption that it's correct and it's not correct or whatever. So if that makes any sense, any sense at all. Let's see. Yeah, the brass strike. Yes, yeah. It's like I really, it's one of those things. Like I don't take it personally. Um, and in fact, it's like the opposite. Like unfortunately, like I'll be going to bed at night and I'll just pull up my phone and look at the comments. Which, if you have a YouTube channel, do not do that because then you get caught up into this thing. And when I see comments like, you got that wrong. This is actually what it said. And everyone's been really polite. There's only been a few mean people, I guess you could say. Most people just like, that would never happen, or they're kind of like educating me, and I like that. But then I feel bad because I feel like I've let everyone down because I made this error, and I'm like, maybe I should just pull the video. I'm like, maybe I should just pull the video. And I'm like, no, I don't want to pull the video. It's kind of my journey. It's part of the history of me learning D&D, and so I don't want to do that. But yeah, I try to respond in the best way I can by saying, yeah, it made a mistake kind of thing. It's like there's nothing more to say thank you because, it helps to do it. So I might still do it, but I think what you guys have said is something good, which is put a disclaimer. And then if something's wrong, address it in the comments, maybe even pin a comment if it's something big that's wrong. Like I pinned the comment about the thunderous bellow because I was like, that's a pretty big error. That was like, anyway. Okay, let me get back to, let's see, how new to D&D. So the long story short is I played D&D when I was 10. I'm 52, almost 53 now. I'm an old dude. I used to play when I was 10 to 15 years old. Like, put it this way, I was playing when the D&D cartoon came out back in the 80s. So I played back then for those. That was 1E. That was the first edition. Then there's a book that I read about a year and a half ago called, I always forget what the name is. Not Taming the Dragon. It's, gosh, what is it? Something the Dragon. Anyway, it's about the history of D&D, and I fell back in love with it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna find a group. And being an adult, trying to figure out like your schedule versus another schedule, and you can only meet in this day, and then the other person. So it's the hardest dragon to slay in D&D is trying to find a group when you're an adult. And I wanted to play in person, not online. So I thought, if I can't, and I spent like 3 months looking, and I was like, if I can't play D&D, how can I like still be in the hobby, but even though if I'm not actively playing with a campaign, like I've done a bunch of one-shots, that kind of thing. I've done a bunch of one-shots. I listen to the podcast. So it's like I'm now into it, but I really want to find a campaign where I meet every week or every other week with a group of people. So anyway, that's kind of how new I am in terms of learning. Let's see. Yeah, AI doesn't cross-reference double check. And here's the thing. You want to hear my beef? Yeah. Let's see. It's scrolling up. I don't know how big creators do it. Like I can kind of keep up with the chat here with 5 people, but if there were like 100 people on here, there's no way I'd be able to keep up. I'd have to pick certain questions to address. So anyway, no, I'm glad it didn't ruin the video. I thought it was a good video. It was a mistaken video. There's a lot of problems with it, but I think in the end it was a good video. Yeah, Tiamat versus Tarrasque. Let me tell you, I learned a lot from that video based on the comments because, the more I think about it, the one funny thing is, and I don't know if anyone who is here saw, there was actually a first version of it. I published it on Friday at noon. That's usually when I publish my long forms. So Friday at noon, it went live. And then, like I said, I'm in bed reading the comments, and people were like, "This is impossible because Tiamat can only be killed can only be damaged by magically imbued weapons," kind of thing. And I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, the whole premise of the video, and at the time I thought that was the only error. Little did I know. So I actually re-recorded the whole beginning. So the one you see now is me saying, I think the scenario was a Tiamat comes down, and a wizard's last desperate attempt was to raise a Tarrasque and give it magical claws and all the other stuff, teeth and everything else. And I was like, so I actually have a version that's even worse, if that makes any sense. But I don't know. It was a learning experience because I learned a lot from all the comments. And now I'm like, I know more about the Tarrasque and Tiamat than I ever have based on that video. So, and I think what I'm going to do, if I continue to still do them, is approach it like, because I think in a way my biggest mistake with those videos is I was looking at it, I was explaining it almost as this is what would happen kind of thing. This is what the simulator said, and what the simulator said this must be correct. I think the better way to do it is to kind of embrace who I am, the Dungeon Noob me, and say, this is what the simulator did. Here's the story, and kind of do the same kind of thing, but in it say, is this correct? For this specific mechanic, I'm not sure. And then just say that it's an AI simulation, it's not perfect, that kind of thing. I don't know what, I'm just off the top of my head right now, just babbling, so to speak. Yeah, it did go in an odd direction. So thank you very much, Donnie. I appreciate that. Lots of trolls. You know what? I will say this about trolls. I am shocked that there haven't been many. To be honest with you, I will say, and when I classify a troll, I'm not talking about someone who gives constructive feedback or criticism, or even says like, your video has all these mistakes. That's not a troll. That's helping me. The ones that are trolls are the ones like, you look like an idiot, or those kinds of things, or this video was so bad you have no idea what you're doing. Why don't you just quit D&D forever? Like, that's a troll kind of thing. Honestly, because I read all the comments, there's getting to the point now where between the shorts and the long forms, I can't reply to all of them, but I read all of them. There's maybe 2 trolling comments, maybe, that I found I was like kind of taken back and felt like it was a personal attack kind of thing, which is awesome, which to me says the D&D community is a good community. So now I know as the channel grows, I'm probably going to get more trolls coming out of the woodwork, but anyway, let's see. Oh, slow mode. I didn't know that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Let's see. Brush straight, giving the trust. That's fine. Okay, so I have to ask. I did a Red Dragon versus Tarrasque. I don't know if you saw that video, Brass Drake, but I did that one. That one, it's funny because that one did well. I mean, in terms of like views and stuff, they're getting more views now. But the Tiamat versus Tarrasque, it's getting a lot of views, and I think the reason is because so many people are calling me out. Saying that this was wrong and that was wrong, and all the stuff we talked about. That YouTube loves engagement. The more comments, likes, and everything else, even dislikes, it pushes it to more people. So it was getting pushed, and I think it's got so many views, almost like 17,000 views. And for me, a little channel, that's a viral video to a certain extent, and I think that's why. But the Red Dragon one is starting to. All the old ones are starting to pick up too. But if you haven't watched that one, I would like your opinion on it. Seriously, I mean it, because I got called out on a couple things with that one. I think the Thunderous Bellow also knocked that one out of the sky, if I remember. But no one made a comment about it until the video was like 3 or 4 weeks old. So anyway. Yes, that's the big thing. Okay, so I thank you, Jack, for that, because that's the one thing is I came at it as a position of authority, which is exactly what like I don't want to do, because I'm not. Like, even in 5 years, I'm not going to be, especially if I'm not actively playing. If I'm just doing one-shots here and there, or I find a group that meets for like 2 months and then they disband because, someone's wife had a baby, all the stuff that happens. I still won't be as knowledgeable as I really can be to make sure that the simulations are correct. So I think it's going from a discovery. this is me. This is like, I'm new to this. Here's what I did. I think it was fun. Here are some disclaimers. Here is, some things that I found. What did you find? What are other errors that you found in this video, kind of thing? Because then it becomes more of a learning experience for me, but it also becomes kind of I don't want to say a puzzle or a challenge for the viewer, because if I say in the beginning, okay, this is what the simulation said, I picked out some errors, let's see what you find. It becomes almost like a Where's Waldo video of, can you spot the errors? And it becomes more fun versus, hey, I'm this authority figure and this is the way the simulation went. So anyway, I appreciate that, Jack. I really do. I think that as I reflected on it, that was one of the big issues with it. So thank you. Scheduling is a bear. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Brass Drake. That's how you discovered it. Let's see, I'm just reading if I'm quiet. Yeah, and the one thing though is I do like the thought experiment of these, because when I was doing the Lich versus the Beholder, I thought to myself, and actually this is a good experiment. I have a few people in here, it looks like, who know the lore, who know the mechanics, know the monster manual 1,000 times more than I do. So let me go through a thought experiment. So when I was doing the Lich versus the Beholder, what I like to also do is to be like, Beholder's in its lair, what happens? Lich's in its lair, what happens? The neutral battlefield, what happens? But anyway, so how would, let me think about this for a second. What was the question? How would a Lich win? And I asked that because, and I was trying to rack my brain. I was even looking at this and I couldn't figure out, because the anti-magic cone is 150 feet, which is pretty big. In the cone, the Lich can't cast spells. And I was thinking there's this one where it does the teleports, basically. I can't remember what it's called. But I was like, no, it can't teleport out of the ray because it's in the ray. And then I thought, if it tries to move like just walking or running, the Beholder can just, can just move. And 150 feet, and if you're in, I don't know, let me actually look it up. I don't know what let's see. Beyond. D&D Beyond. Let's see, the only one I have is the Monster Manual. My favorite manual. All right, so what am I looking for? Beholder? No, a Lich. I know you guys are typing, so I apologize for not reading that. I just want to take a look at something. Yeah, Lich's speed is 30 feet, so if it's 150 feet wide, it's going to take a lot of movement to get out of that. So from a mechanic standpoint, how would that work? How would a Lich be able to win, even if it won initiative, which I think it would with a plus 17. I don't know what the Beholder is, but plus 17 is pretty big. It would definitely win the first, but I don't think it has enough firepower to kill it in the first round. Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to look over here now. Let's see. That's a good point. Yes, that it can't shoot the rays inside its own cone, which is a pretty big flaw if you think about it. Yes, Jack, this is the 2024 Lich. Let me let's see, where is it? Let me bring out, I got the other monster manual. Let's see. LM. I'm going to do more of these. These live things are fun. I really like them. And does anyone else do this when you want to look up something like L? I actually have to kind of go back to the alphabet and be like HIJKL. Is that just me? Yeah. Okay. So the Lich, I can't put it up there, but the Lich, the old one, this one has armor class 20, the new one that you see on screen. Armor class 20, 315 hit points. The old one, armor class 17, 135 hit points. Talk about a buff. Man, that's crazy, right? Let's see. Let's see, if the 20, it can spam paralyzing touch and win. The beholder can't stop that. Paralyzing, okay, so that was my one question, because that was the one thing I thought about. But when I did a search, paralyzing touch was a spell, right? I mean, unless there's a mechanic. See, this is where I don't know. Like, is the mechanic that it has to be it's a touching spell? So that's okay. Let me look, because I know I did paralyzing touch. This is fun looking at this stuff. I'll just do this one. No, not that. Paralyzing touch 5e. Where's this now? I keep doing that. Why did I do that? Usually it goes right to the D&D Beyond. Anyway, I'll see what you guys are saying. The spell list. Spell-like ability counts as an attack. It's not a spell. Really? Huh. Let's see. I just want to. Where's the player's manual? Give me 1 second. Got to find the player's manual. I'm just curious. See, this is why it's fun, but that's why, like, to a certain extent, I don't know what I don't know. Like, the mechanic we're talking about now is fun to, like, research it, because I don't know, and even there's kind of, I don't want to say we're debating, but it's like, I don't know, it counts as a spell, because so I'm just going to look it up. Let's see, where was it? Paralyzing touch? All right. Paralyzing touch. Well, now that's interesting. It's not in the player's handbook, and that's, spells are player's handbook. So I don't know, maybe that's the case. I mean, maybe it's because if we go back here, yeah, I thought I looked it up and paralyzing touch was a spell. Anyway, let's see. What do you guys say? Okay, spell-like ability. So when you say spell-like ability, so I see here, like, it says spell casting, and these are where the spells are listed specifically. So I'm assuming, Jack, that that's what you're talking about, that the fact that paralyzing touch isn't listed in the spell casting, it's not a spell, or it doesn't have that magical property. Is that kind of what I'm hearing? Oops. Okay, see, let me see. The beholder's icon has a cone effect. It's easy for the lich to step out of this. Oh, that's true. That's true, because a cone obviously is, and this, I guess this is what you're saying, Brass Drake, is that it's a cone. So if here out the wide, if the lich is here, it's got to go pretty far either way. But the closer it gets to the beholder, the easier it is to sidestep out. Okay. Yes, exactly. See, and that's the stuff. It's almost like, to a certain extent, Jack, what would be fun? Okay, so I don't know if you saw my comment. Someone made a comment, and, you know, like most of the comments, they've all been, you know, it was a positive comment in terms of being helpful and stuff. It wasn't a troll or anything. And I was like, that's a channel right there. So, Jack, if you want to start a YouTube channel, here's an idea. Take 2 DMs. So you take 2 DMs who are fighting the monsters, and then actually, just like you're doing a campaign, have like dueling DMs, like dueling pianos, dueling piano bars, except you have dueling DMs, and they're battling the monsters against each other to see who wins, kind of thing. That would be, I would love to see that, because you're getting real dice rolls, you're seeing human creativity, what a DM would actually do, which is, AI sim could never do, like that would be a cool channel. If there's one out there already, let me know. But that would be a cool channel. Oh, cool, Jack. What's your channel? But yeah, that would be a cool channel in my opinion. I would definitely watch that. Okay, Caleb says melee spell attack. Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's because, and I think someone else mentioned it, said it's an action. So it's listed under the actions, but not under the spells, and maybe that's why. In which that would make sense. But yeah, so click username. Okay, so oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, I'm using that OBS, but luckily I can go to the channel. Nice, awesome. Well, you know what I'm going to do? And you probably, I don't know if you were here, but I do a newsletter on Sunday that I send out to people who have taken the quiz that I had, and I want to spotlight other like up and coming D&D YouTubers and YouTube creators. So if you don't mind, I would love to like highlight you in that one maybe tomorrow if you don't mind, because you know it's always good to like help other people, you know, with their channels, and you know we're both small channels, so that would be awesome. I'll subscribe to you. Let me see. I'm getting a sense of like what you're. Let's see. Oh, nice. Paladin. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So how's it going? Like with your channel? Like, I mean, is it and I could look. It looks like you're doing every week. How long have you had it? Wish I could get. Oh, you can't. I can do like emoji. No, I can't do. Can I do emojis on here? No, I can't. I was gonna give you a thumbs up emoji with the sounds good, but I can't. Oh, of course. So I'll react. Oh, you mean react? Like actually do reaction channel? That would okay. Now that I have your permission, that's awesome. And also, anytime I always say, if I ever watch a video, which I will, I got to make sure I watch to the end, and then I like, and then I make a comment. That's what you have to do. Awesome. That's really cool. When did you start? I see you got one that went out 3 days ago and it already has 4,100 views. That's awesome. And I have vidIQ, which is like a tool to help with YouTube, and it says that this video is 29 times better than any video you had. So that's kind of an outbreak video for you. That's awesome. Can I tell how, let's see, can you, on a channel, let's see, but on Jack's live stream a lot. Oh, cool. Awesome. Let me see, do you do live streams? Oh, nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it looks like you have guests? Oh, okay, so you do some playthroughs. And again, I'm just going through these quickly. So it looks like you have some guests there. Are those other D&D creators? Most Wednesdays. Ooh, that would be awesome. I appreciate that, Jack. I was going to say tittle, but is that TITL? Let's see. Let me look up. I got Spotify here, so let me look up that too. Oops. Nice. And are they also like smaller YouTubers? Because like I said, I'd love to give them a shout out too. And that's the thing. I love the fact that there's all of us like doing this, because it just, and the fact that all of us are growing means that the hobby is doing really well. Talk in the library. Okay, TITL. I'm going to try that. Why isn't it searching? Oh, I meant talk. Let's see. Why am I not finding it? Why is it pulling up Megan Trainor and stuff like that? Oh, podcast. Hold on. Podcast. Do you have a link by chance? Oh, talk. Did I put talking in the library? Because I can't find it on just searching Spotify. Or is it on YouTube? Not on Spotify. There we go. I'm going to go over this way. And I answered my own question. Now, do you have it on Spotify? Because if you don't, you definitely should. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to be. So let me give you my email address. If I can get this right. Yeah, the two ends always mess me up. So yeah, go ahead and send me what's it called? An email, and maybe we can try time to do it. I was actually on another podcast, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you want to listen to see how I am, because I don't want to ruin your show. But yeah, let me find it. It's called Claim the Game. All right, there is it. That's not it. That's a lawyer. I don't know where. Hold on a second. Where did it go? Sorry about this, guys. I'm just trying to find that one. Claim 2 game. That's what it is. Claim 2 game, not claim the game. It's still not popping up. Don't know why. Let me switch this to Spotify. Why isn't this working? Oh, wait a minute. Nope. There we go. Yeah, it's this one right here, and you can see, like, yeah, right there. So yeah, so if you want to, it's called Claim to Game. It's found on Spotify. I don't know why it wouldn't show up in YouTube, but so it's there. So just so if you want to make sure that I'm good enough to be on the podcast. I think I am, but just so you can listen. Let's see. That's awesome. It's already ruined. That's great. So, Brass Drake, do you have a YouTube channel as well? You said my channel I missed that one. Isn't as developed, but I'm on Jack's Live. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. But yeah, let me see. Is it? Can I get to it? Go to channel. Let's see. Does that work? I'll throw a subscribe anyway. There you go. So thank you. That's awesome. But yeah, it's because it would be fun to because now we're like all starting. It'd be fun just follow each other and like do stuff together, and like in 3 or 4 years, when we're bigger, that'd be awesome. So anyway, let's see. It's funny because I didn't know how long I'd be on this. I said 3 to 5, but I was like, am I really going to be on it for 2 hours? It's already 4:40. So anyway, what was I going to do? Here we go. Go to here. There we go. See, why is that blurry? Hello? Stupid camera. I don't know why it's blurry. Let me see. Hold on. Maybe if I get out of the way. Then I come back on. Come on. Almost. Come on. There. No. This is... I don't know why it does that. It's supposed to always... Anyway, I don't want to give you guys... I'll just do that. Anyway, let me get back to the chat to see where you guys are. I don't know why it was doing that. Awesome. Hey, Jonathan. Thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for coming by. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to do more of these. These are fun. These are fun. Yeah, focus, Ron. I'm trying. I'm losing. Was it one of the spells you have to focus? I just would have broken that spell terribly. Thanks, Donnie. I appreciate it. And yeah, time zones, that's the one thing. It's like I didn't know when to do this because I usually go to bed early, and it probably would be better to do it later at night. I don't know, but then people in other countries across the Atlantic, that's going to be, if I did it at like 8 o'clock at night, it's going to be like 1 a.m. their time or something like that, or even later, depending on where they are. And so the whole time thing I figured when I looked at my YouTube stats, most of my viewers were between like 3 and 7. That seems to be where most viewers were online. And so I was like, I'll start at 3 and see what happens. Yeah, I think it was focusing on the lights. Silver Dragons. Let's see, is that the one? Videos. Let's see. Silver. I love brass rants about challenge rating. Let's see. I'll definitely check. Oh, there it is. Silver Dragons. It's so awesome. So anyway, what do you guys? I know that Jack. What are you doing tonight? You doing a? Do you think you did? You say you were playing D&D? Is that what you said you were doing? I can't remember. That's what I mean. With 5 people, I can't remember who's saying what. I can only imagine when like 10 people are on. Yeah, I see it right here. Yep. Silver Dragons. I'm definitely going to check that out. And then, let's see, I'm just looking over here. Cool. Yeah, so this is fun. I think I'm going to keep doing this because this is a lot of fun. And then, you guys are here, and hopefully the next time I'll get another group of people. If you and you, all of you guys, are just hanging out. That's cool. When's your next live stream? Let me take a look. Let me go back. Am I focused yet? Hey, there I am. It did focus me. All right. Oh, here it is. No, not that one. I'm just looking here. So that was streamed 2 days. So last time you did it was 2 days ago. Okay, that's cool. So 4 p.m. Eastern time. Awesome. Yeah, let's shoot me an email. It's way up there. I don't know if you grabbed it yet, but Ron at DungeonNoob.com. Simple. And let's try to find a time. I'd love to be on it with you. That'd be so much fun. I mean, I'm having fun doing this, and this is just kind of like a, talking to people, which is fun. Dragonborn. My favorite, I've always had an affinity for elves, specifically rangers. I don't know why. Not because, believe it or not, because of Lord of the Rings, Legolas. I think that's his name, right? But I've always loved rangers. Even when I was younger, I always played an elf ranger. And it's funny, the quiz that I created when I was testing it out, and when I was finally done, I was like, let's see what I am. Got a ranger. And then when I read my personality profile that I created for it, I was like, yep, that's me. That's exactly me. Yeah, it's so cool how like certain like dwarves, like I'm listening to that podcast Dice Shame, and the one fighter is a dwarf, and he's just like a battle tank kind of thing. It's great. And elves, in the what's it called? In the podcast, the ranger is actually a tabaxi, but it's cool because the fighter and the cleric are usually right up front, right in melee combat. And the first thing the ranger does, he's like, I'm going to use my feline agility and go 90 feet and go up a tree. So and then just pick off the bad guys from there. But yeah, I've always been elf ranger kind of thing. I am going to do one live stream, I think, where I'm going to create a character like from scratch. Because when I was little, I did that all the time. And since I've only been playing a bunch of one-shots, the ones that I've been to, the character sheet's already given to you. You can bring your own, but I never got around to it. And I was like, I should probably do that. Like, just create a brand new character from scratch using the player's handbook. Because it's a lot more complicated now than when I was younger. Because now there are not backstories. There are, you guys know more than I do. It's like where you're from, like if you're high royalty or you were, a soldier or whatever your not backstory, but I don't know what that is. You tell me. Let's see. When you say paradox races, do you mean like, what do you mean by that? I never heard that term before. Unless you mean, or beast folk. or tieflings. Tieflings, I've never. They weren't around when I was younger. Like I didn't even know what a tiefling was. Like when I first started this journey again, I had no idea what a tiefling was. And eventually I did, and then watched the movie, and then that's a tiefling. I think she was a tiefling druid. I think it was. But yeah, tonight I think I might. I probably see. I don't know. Depends. I gotta run to the store. So I'm probably gonna hop off like in like 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm probably gonna go to the store and then come back, and then I might watch the D&D movie because I don't know who was here, but I'm doing a video. Probably it's gonna be a long one on finding all the Easter eggs in the Honor Among Thieves movie, and it's been fun trying to find them. And then I think I might watch Peacemaker season 2. Yeah, creating characters is a lot of fun. When I was younger, I would just create characters just for the hell of it. Just I would create, dozens of characters, never use them, but I would just, I'm going to do a human fighter, and I'm going to do a paladin. I did play, so when I was younger, I did play an elf ranger. I played a half elf mage. I can't remember. Now there are like 3 spellcasters. When I was younger, I think there was only 1. I think. I can't remember. And then I played what was it? A human paladin. Dice Gel Warden, hey, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see, creating it's a part celestial, part fiend. Ooh, that's a cool one. Part celestial, part fiend. I always thought like a cool battle, monster versus monster, would be like a planetar versus a baler. I mean, like kind of like the ultimate in divine righteousness versus like this chaotic monster. I think that would be kind of cool. Awesome. Where are you from? I'll just call you Dice. There you go. Where are you from, Dice? And sadly, let's see, don't forget. Oh no, I'm definitely going to watch that. Oh yeah, definitely tonight. I forgot about I will remember. Let me try that again. I will remember, because usually when it starts getting late after I've watched what I want to watch, then I'm kind of in the mood for those shorter things. Yeah, it's it would be interesting. I haven't looked at the stat blocks yet. But it would be interesting to do that one. Let's see. Oh, solar versus. Maybe that's what but yeah, solar versus a baler. What was Planetar versus Pit Fiend? I can't remember, but yeah, solar versus baler would be a good one too. Oh, Houston, awesome. Houston, Texas, awesome. Well, good to see you. Now, sadly, I am going to be hopping off soon because I gotta run to the store and do all that kind of stuff, But I appreciate it. We've been on here since 3, so I can't believe I've been on here for so long. It's been awesome. It's been fun. The solar winds, one shot anything. Okay, is it below? Wow. For some reason, I thought solars were more powerful. I don't know why. Pigmeans are stonk. I'm doing a short that's coming out probably in like 3 or 4 days, and I'm doing kind of these lore shorts now, which you probably have. I kind of shifted from what I was doing to the shorts, because one reason I was doing the comparison versus like the 2014 Monster Manual versus 2025, and what I noticed is I wasn't giving any opinions. I was just saying, here are the changes, and a lot of people were like, oh, I hate the new D&D. D&D sucks now. Wizards of the Coast sucks. And I was like, I don't want this to be a hate fest. So I was like, I'm going to stop doing that and do something that's more kind of fun. So I'm doing lore now. Anyway, I found out that Pit Fiends, they're born, one of a couple theories, but one is they're actually born from Asmodeus's blood, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you could catch it too. I've been working on updating my battle simulator to match your goblin versus. Oh, awesome! That's awesome. Oh, let me do. Where is? Am I still focused? I'm still focused. Good. Let's see. Where am I doing? Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Where am I looking? Also, I was thinking, Jack, the guy who interviewed me for my podcast, he was asked. He sent me. I'm just looking at my email right now. He sent me an email asking me if I knew of any other D&D creators that would be cool to have on. So if you want, I could, listen to his podcast to make sure it like aligns with what you want to do. But I could put you guys in touch with each other. So just let me know. All right. So let me see. Where am I doing? Why isn't this? Sorry, I'm trying to find a certain email. Okay, cool. So let me say the updated battle simulator. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, hopefully yours might be better than mine. Is this Max by the way? Dice, are you Max? Awesome. Yeah, let's expand that network. And then maybe I'm sure there's like D&D cons to go to. I know there's like Gary Con. I know what's the other one? There's another one. I can't remember. But it'd be kind of cool to actually go to a conference and meet people who we've talked to. Hey, Max, there you are. How is that coming along, the battle simulator? I was talking about that, and real quick, I'll give you an update. Everyone else has heard this, but I've been finding lots of errors in the simulations, and so a lot of people have been pointing out certain things, which is great. It helps me with the simulation, and I was going to start backing away from it and switch to something else, but everyone here has been like, keep doing it, just pivot to like, rather than being an authoritative source on the topic, go from the standpoint, which I should have been, which is like the noob. I ran this simulation. Here's what it is. Here's what I found out. What are some errors that you find? Here's what I found in the simulator, kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, I'd be curious to see how yours is going. Comic-Con. There is Comic-Con. Like, I'm actually going to Comic-Con in Baltimore, where I'm from. I think it's next weekend or the weekend after, but the San Diego Comic-Con is on my bucket list. I have never been there, but that's on my bucket list. Nice. So anyway, everyone who's on the chat, just so to give some background. So Dice Gel Warden, his name is Max, and he saw one of my videos, the simulation video, and we had a video chat, and he is correct me if I'm wrong, kind of a data scientist, right? You kind of analyze data, you're a programmer, you do lots of that kind of stuff, and when what he was showing me on the video chat went well above my head, not just because of the D&D, but because of the complexity of the programming and everything else. But he's working on a simulator that, baby steps, but it could be awesome and be so accurate once it gets to prime time. So yeah, just so people knew kind of, what that was all about. So yeah, we've talked before. So cool. All right, everyone. So this has been a lot of fun. I think I'm going to do more of these. I might experiment with different times. Maybe I'll try like a little later, maybe even a little, well, you know what, maybe early. I don't know, it's so hard with the time zones, because if I do earlier, like 12, people in the US, that might be too, or people are doing baseball games and playing D&D, they're not going to be watching YouTube. But it's good for the people over in the UK and Europe and Australia and everywhere else, versus if I do it at like 7 at night, 6 at night, it's probably better for people in the US, but terrible for everybody else. So I don't know. I'll experiment to see. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. I'm part of Johannesburg. I used to go to an event called Icon. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll have to look that one up. I don't know if it's a worldwide one or just Johannesburg. So anyway, I hate to cut it short. Thanks, Max, for joining us. Thank you very much, everyone, for all the support, for being here. And yeah, just look out for the next one and the next videos. And this was so much fun. I appreciate it. Wasn't D&D though. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it. And Jack, make sure you contact me via email so that we could connect and I can get you in touch with Clint and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, all right, everyone, take care. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Have a good weekend. And hopefully Monday won't come too quick.